It's time to install the horns on the Viking. I learned the basics from chipping away. So what I'm doing right now is I'm measuring how deep I want the horns into the skull and putting a mark on the horns. You can see, so this one I've got it measured for how much horn is sticking out. And then I'm going to a little more than a 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to take the other one, do the exact same marking, so it's a 1/4 inch sticking out, because I don't need one sticking out further than the other. One side to the left side, huge long one, and right one short. So I'm getting them a sense of how long to leave them. So put my little mark on there. This is all trial and error. I got a 2-second explanation on how to do it. Okay, so now I have to mark the sides of the helmet where I want my holes to be, and I don't have a drill press, so I'm going to be doing this with a hand drill. What I'm doing there is I've marked one, kind of looking at using the ruler as a horizontal plane to make sure the helmets are lined up, just a visual. So I've marked the one side, then I'm going to mark the other side, and that way, if the horns line up to where the ruler was, I'll live with that. And it turned out all right. So I've got marks on each side. Make sure they're center in the head. Kind of a sanity check there. All right. Now the good time. Now it's time to drill. All the fears I have of drilling too deep right through the drill grabbing, but I'm going to do a small pilot hole first on each side, just to prevent splitting and the dancing of a drill bit if it's too big on the surface. So this will give it something to line up to when I go to the bigger drill bit. Okay, so here I go. I've kind of measured how deep I need to go, and I'm doing it by eyeball. Realistically, I probably should have put some tape on that blade, but it is so small. So here I go, just a little drill. Spin around, do the other side. Go in about the distance that a 1/4 inch or so, or a little less than a 1/4 inch is the piece revealed. I apologize for leaving the drill bit right in the way there for a second. I'm a little slow on the uptake before I realize that it's in the way. There we go. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm taking the horn, I'm trying to find the best possible drill bit size where I don't have to take too much off the horn. Obviously I can't use a bigger bit because it'll be loose in there, so I found the one that's just a little bit smaller. If you have a look here, you can see it's definitely smaller. And the plan here is, now that where I have the mark that's going to be where that touches the helmet, I'm going to be shaving those into a light taper. So I don't need to make them perfectly round or cylindrical, but I do need to make them into a taper. And the taper has to be deep enough, obviously, to insert all the way in. So there I am. I got my new thumb guard, which was my 4-finger guard, and my new glove from a previous video. And check that out. That's my flex cut, that's my Badger State detail knife. And I'm just lightly doing a stop cut all the way around on that line that I made. And that way when I'm shaping my taper, I'm only shaping from that line to the end, which is going into the skull of the helmet. All right, so just little at a time. And then, check to see how I'm doing, put it in the head, put it in the helmet. But it turned out that glove was just a little too bulky for the work that I'm doing, for holding that tiny little piece. So I said to myself, don't cut yourself and don't bleed, and just be cautious. So there, doing a little bit of a deeper score. Glad the wife didn't see me using the tool or the kitchen table as a workbench. In the past, I was building a trebuchet out of popsicle sticks using a drill, and I may or may not have, because I'm still in complete denial if she's within earshot, drilled right through the trebuchet into our kitchen table. So needless to say, I'm watched closely with power tools on the table, and she did inquire as to, when she heard the drill, what that drill noise was all about. But I got away with it. So here I'm just doing that shave, that little taper, and there we go. So now it's time to put the bigger hole in, so I can start doing some measuring. And what you're going to see happen here is I'm trying, obviously I'm measuring how deep I got to go in. Again, eyeballing it. I should have put some tape on that drill bit. But watch the drill bit grab that piece of wood, and instead of like stopping, it kind of pulled itself deeper. So it was very close. It happened very quickly there, but it was a little scary. And there I am with my handy dandy drill in the way of the camera. But I just got that detail knife, and I'm trimming off any of the rough edges that the drill bit left behind, and knocking out any pieces of wood that are inside that hole. So, how long till I notice that the drill bit is just perfect, or the drill is perfectly in the way of what I'm working on there. But you can see, so I'm kind of went back to taper, just doing tapering on the horn there, just a little bit of tapering, right? And it was just a game of a little bit of taper, check the hole, did it go in deep enough, right? So now I know I've got it about right, but it's not going in deep enough, so I'm gonna have to do a little, extend that taper, go a little better, and then keep doing it, just ever so little at a time. It's a little tedious, but all in all, this is real time, and it took me 11 minutes to put these horns in, and it's my first time doing it. But I'm pretty excited about that. As you can see, the horn is in. Okay, now the other horn, or the other side, I got to drill the bigger hole, and then I'm going to do the exact same process with the other side. And again, with the drill right in the way. Man, I'm quality all around. So you see me using the knife to trim off. It did leave some rough edges on the basswood, so I'm just trimming those off nicely, just a little bit. And I'm sure there's a tip for that, and if you have one, please put it in the comment. Maybe it's put tape on it to make a cleaner hole, if you don't have a drill press, obviously. So there I am again. I'm scoring, doing that relief cut all the way around. And I'm sweating like nobody's business, and just, like I said, just little by little. This part came very naturally to me, because when I first started, like everyone else, making carrots, just grabbing a stick and whittling a point. Not that it was a perfect point, but it was a reasonably good taper. And on this side, because this horn was a little longer, you'll see that I have to, when I put it in, I can't actually put it in far enough that they're both in about the same way. So I end up doing a deeper stop cut, just closer to the rough end of the horn that goes into the skull, and I took off about 1/8 of an inch of it, just ever so carefully, and then it went into the perfect depth. So yeah, just little trial and error, but cut, check, so you can see it. Another fun point. When you do this, if you've got two sides to do, in the case of the horns like that, when you do the one side, make sure you pay attention, because while I was doing it, I forgot what side I tested the horn on. So the first horn I sized for one side, and I actually second guessed myself. I figured it out real quick, but yeah, a little more attention to that next time, I think, if I have to do something that's got two sides. See the horns going in. So when I figured out what side it is, I just left the horn in it, so that I didn't go trying to make both horns fit one side of the head and not the other. So I'm doing a little back cut. There's a little bit of grain challenge there, so some of the cuts had to be back towards the point of the horn, but the stop cut worked like a top. So here I am realizing that left side is just sticking out a little further, and I can see it, and I'm not happy about it. So here we go. This is on-the-fly ingenuity. So see that? That is a block of wood. That is called a marriage saver. So I'm using the block of wood to do this cut so that I don't cut the kitchen table and make it any worse than it already is. Therefore, my wife won't be mad at me, and it's the marriage saver. So good thing that block of wood was on the table, that I could just see it. If not, it would have been straight up on the table. I'd have been doing this. So I'm just doing a really gentle yet deep cut, about an extra eighth off the end there, going, and then just doing a kind of a down and an out to the end to try and get that to break off. And it came out pretty clean because it's a pretty thin piece of wood. And there you go. It goes in here. It goes in right to the right depth. I'm quite excited about it at this point. The actual hole, the horns line up. There's no big gap. There's no sawdust and CA glue. It's just perfect. Very pleased. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks.